What is up, everybody? How's it going? Today we are going to be doing a video it's basically like the uh, the 2080 Ti benchmarking slash overclocking video that I did, but this one's going to be a little bit different than that. This one we're not going to be focusing on how far I'm going to be able to overclock, and it's not going to be a tutorial type of video. This is just going to be me running benchmarks. This is going to be the same exact benchmarks as I did in the other video. But as you can see here, I did a post, and I posted up this question, doing a poll, seeing if people wanted me to do this video, and 10 people voted, and 9 of the 10 people wanted me to do this video, so I'm doing it. If you are ready for this video, guys, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and hopefully I will see you all in the future. Let's go ahead and get on to the video. So we are here on my desktop. I have the benchmarking program that I used. Like I said, this isn't going to be the same. This isn't going to be like most benchmarking videos. Normally, if you go to YouTube videos and you'll see people running different types of games in 1440p settings that are like maxed out, that kind of a thing. Normally, you see that. But I'm not going to be doing it like that. I'm just going to be running just this program right here, this benchmarking program, this stress test program. And here's my overclocker right here, MSI Afterburner. And as you can see, these are some of the pictures that I saved whenever I was overclocking in the last video. So this is my stock settings, or my stock score, whenever I had stock settings on the graphics card. That is not a picture of it. Okay, I don't know which one this one is. This one is plus 100 on the core. This one is plus 150 on the core. That one is plus 175 on the core. And then after that, we get into the memory part of the GPU. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically be doing the same thing. We're going to run the same test. So we're going to do a stock test. We're going to do a test with 100 on the core, a test with 150 on the core, a test with 175 on the core, and then I'll do the memory. I remember how the memory went because I went straight to 800 with the memory. So we're just going to do the same exact test. So what I'm going to do is make sure everything's at stock settings, which it already is because I haven't changed anything yet. So that's the stock settings. And then in here, I have it set to custom because they don't have like a default 1440p on here. So the custom, the graphics API is DirectX, full screen's enabled, resolution 2560 by 1440, shaders is on extreme, textures is high because that's the highest setting. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it, and I'm going to compare that score to the stock score of 1080p extreme. So that is what we're going to be doing. I will be back when the test is complete, because if you watch the last video, then you'll know that I'm not going to be recording this at the same time as it's benchmarking, because since I'm using the same PC, the results will be different. They won't be as high as they should be. It'll be pretty low. So I'm going to stop recording here. I'm going to run the test, and I'll be back when the test is complete. Okay? So we are done with our first test. We got a score of 5,415. Now, before I go into the FPS, bear in mind that this is a stress testing program. It's supposed to stress your GPU to the max to get the best possible performance that it can get. So when you look at this FPS, just remember, this FPS is not realistic to in-game FPS. In-game FPS is much, much higher. Any game that I play while I'm streaming, I get well over 100 FPS. For instance, Call of Duty, Battlefield 5. What other games do I play? Rainbow Six Siege. Any game will get well over 100 FPS. Just remember that this is a stress testing program. I did not do a benchmark from in-game. So the FPS is extremely low just because it's a stress test. I just wanted y'all to know that. Okay. So we got a score of 5,415. Our minimum FPS was 33. our average was 40.5, and then our max was 46. The GPU temperature maxed out at 50, and then of course our utilization will be at 99%. Because we are running at 1440p, the utilization will be at 99% the entire time. It might peak at 100, I don't know if it will, we'll see, but it should stay at 99% the whole time. So that was stock. Let's look at the 1080p stock. So here is 1080p stock settings. So we got us a 46 FPS for minimum, so yeah, so that's different. Average was 62, and then the max was 75. And see, you can see the GPU utilization in this was only at 97% because it was in 1080p. So yeah, okay, first test was a success. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what we did in the other video, open up Afterburner, and we're gonna do the first overclock, which was 100, and then we're going to turn up the power limit up to 125%, apply it, minimize that, and then we're gonna run our next test, guys, and I will be back. Oh wait, hold on, I need to save. I need to save this, don't I? Save this into this. Oh wait, no, it's this one, right? Select folder. Nope. I need to do this one. Select folder. There it is. Okay, then I gotta rename it. Where's the rename it? There it is. Okay, so this is gonna be 1440p stock. Okay, cool. So let me exit out of this. Let me exit out of this. And we will be back when the next test is complete, guys. So we are back from the benchmark test. This was plus 100 on the core. So let me go back to here. So this was plus 100 on the core. So we got a score of 5,687. Our minimum FPS went up a little bit to 34.31. The average went up to 42.54, and the max went up to 48.35. So the minimum, the average, and the max, the numbers all went up by around 2 FPS. As you can see, the utilization stayed at 99%, and my GPU temp also went up to 58, probably because the water's probably starting to get heat saturated now. So now it's probably, all my temps will probably be around 58 to 60 degrees Celsius, because that's what my GPU normally maxes out at. Once the water loop gets heat in it, so that's probably about as hot as it'll get. What we're gonna do now, let me pull up. Okay, so here was the numbers before. So this was stock GPU settings. We got the score 5,415. So we got about a 262 point difference. And like I said before, so we got about a 1 FPS change on the minimum. We got about a 2 FPS change on the average, and then another 2 FPS change on the max. What we're going to do is, as we did in the original video, we are going to bump up the core clock to 150. We're going to apply it and minimize out of that, and I will be back when the next benchmarking test is done, guys. We are back after doing plus 150 on the core. Our score before was 5,687. That was with 100 on the core. Now we got 5,867. So about another 200 points we got added. All three, our minimum, our average, and our max FPS have gone up about 1 full FPS. GPU utilization, as I said before, it will always be 99%. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull up the photo from the stock 1440p, and we're going to see how much of a change we've had. So we have had about a 452 point difference from stock. So we've had about a 2 FPS difference. for minimum, about a 3.8 FPS difference for average, and about another 3.8 difference for the max. Okay, okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, so before we get on to the memory, we got one more test we gotta do. I'm not sure. I might not be able to complete this test. I do not know. But we're gonna put it at 175 plus 175 on the core. And what the heck did I just open? There we go. Alright, so we got plus 175 on the core. Let me save this photo because I forgot to save the other one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm not clicking on the right things, jeez. Okay, so this was what? This was 150 on the core? Because I forgot to save the one that was 100. So, 1440p plus 150 core. Alright. So now we're going to do the one at 75, and I will be back when that test is complete, guys. Alright, we are back here, and like I thought would happen, it did crash on us. I tried to run it twice. Both times it crashed. The first time it crashed probably like 30 seconds into it. The second time I ran it, it actually went pretty far. It almost completed before it crashed. I was probably on like scene, I think I was on scene like 11 or 12 out of 17. So unfortunately, we're going to have to stop the clocking at 150. So what we're going to do is put it at 150. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the memory. Now, if you watched the very first video that I did of this, you'll see we went straight to 800 megahertz on the memory. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do 800 on that, apply it, and it's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run the next test, which is going to be 150 on the core and 800 on the memory. And I'll be back right after this test is done, guys. We are back from the test that we did 150 on the core and 800 on the memory. We got a score of 6,013. Let me pull up this other photo here. Okay, so we have 5,867. That was with 150 on the core. That was with no memory overclock. Our minimum FPS has gone up about 1 FPS. We're at 36.85 on the minimum now. The average has gone up about 1 FPS as well. It's 44.98, so almost, basically 45 FPS on that. And our max has gone up about 2, almost 2 FPS, 51.2. So yeah, so that's that. So what we're gonna do, what's our temps? Temps went up a whole degree. So yeah, okay, like I thought. So what we're gonna do now, this is gonna be our last test we're gonna do. We're gonna do one more test. We're gonna put 1,000 on the memory, and this will be our final test that we do. So let me put 1,000 on the memory, and let me go ahead and save this in there real quick. I can rename it in a minute. So yeah, so we're gonna do 1,000 on memory. This is gonna be our final test, and we're gonna see what our final score is when we get back, guys. I'll see you right after the test. Back from doing our final test, which is 150 on the core and 1,000 on the memory. We got a score of 6,044, which before we had 6,013. So we got like what, 30? We got 31 points from that. The minimum FPS went up ever so slightly. Went up 0.13 of an FPS. The average FPS went up about 0.13 as well, or no, 0.3. The max went up about 0.3 as well. So not really too much of a difference. We did get a little bit more. It's not much of a difference. I remember when we did this test in the other video and with 1080p settings. I remember when we did this. I remember the score with the 1,000 memory was lower than the score that we had 800 memory on. So I'm glad to see that didn't happen again. It actually did it right. But yeah, I'm gonna save this, select folder, and what we're gonna do is, so what was my stock 1440p stock? So stock was 5,415, and that was 6,044. So we gained about a 629 point difference from going from stock graphics card all the way to the overclock that we set. Was it really worth it though? We got our max FPS changed by about 4 FPS, 5 FPS. So I mean, 5 FPS on that, and that's only 3 FPS. So that's not that big of a difference. I wonder if that really is worth it though. Oh wait, did I accidentally pull up the 1080p one? Might be. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this little overclocking benchmarking video. Let me just go to webcam. We're just gonna go to webcam. I hope you all did enjoy this video. A lot of y'all been wanting it, so I finally did it for y'all. If you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. I will also put a link to the very first video that I did in the description. So if y'all haven't checked that out, make sure you do go check that video out as well. That's more of a overclocking guide and tutorial though than this one. This one we focused mainly on just the scores itself. I didn't really go too in depth on it. But always, guys, as always, don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below, because I always enjoy to read the comments. Tell me what your scores are, stuff like that. I want to know. I want to know what y'all get, what your temperatures are like, that kind of thing. So leave a comment down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, I will see you all in the next one. My name is Southern G, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.